Hi, my name is Emily Crow from Crochet Creations, and this is my Crochet and Knit podcast. Welcome, welcome. It is episode 4. I am talking about kind of the last few weeks of November, looking into December, things I've made, what I'm working on, new yarn I have, and all sorts of fun things related to the fiber arts. Like I said, I am the businesswoman behind Crochet Creations. I like to design classic crochet pieces that fit in with a modern lifestyle, and I also love to knit and DIY all sorts of things. I am a mother to a baby girl, Georgia. She is 13 months now. My husband and I, with our little family, live in the South Bay area of California right now for his job. So that is a little bit about me. And welcome. I am so happy to have you. Definitely tell me more about you in the comments. I would love to get to know you. It's really my main motivation for doing this channel is to expand my circle of online friends and to build this community of the fiber arts. Whether or not you personally participate, I hope that you enjoy seeing what I'm working on and what I am doing. And if you're new here, welcome. I would love to have you. I have these podcasts. I have all sorts of other videos on my channel, different vlogs, day in the life type videos of a work-at-home mom, studio vlogs of different patterns and things that I'm working on, tutorials, tips and tricks, inspiration, all sorts of things like that. So if that is something that you're interested in, then definitely subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know whenever I post a new video. And also, if there's any particular types of videos you would love to see from me, definitely let me know in the comments below. Right now it is December 3rd. We are during nap time. Oh, I am wearing my Seriously Soft sweater designed by Stephanie Aaron. It's a crochet pattern using lace weight. I used like a mohair blend yarn, so it's not like a mohair silk blend. It had more acrylic fiber content in it as well, Fezza Opulent yarn from my stash. And so yeah, I made this stripy, kind of fading from black to purple sweater in time for Halloween, just in time for Halloween. So a couple episodes ago you can see me talk more about that. So that's what I'm wearing right now. A news going on. So we are in December. It is Vlogmas season. I decided to do Vlogmas this year. I really wanted to share and record what's going on in my life right now. I thought this would be so fun. I am not necessarily going to have a vlog every day, but I have daily vlogs up so far. So if you would like to check that out, then definitely look in the description. I'll have my playlist linked down there so you can follow along to see my December. A little different here. This is our first year in California and there's definitely no snow, so a little bit different Christmas season. Hopefully I can find some fun and festive things to do with our little family to get us ready for celebrating this holiday and this wonderful time of year, because I definitely love Christmas and the winter holiday season. As far as other news going on, I just came out with a brand new pattern called the Feeling Pine Dishcloth set, and I don't think I have them close by actually. I should have grabbed them, but I will definitely insert picture so that you can see the dishcloth as well as the dish towel version that are within this pattern. So it just came out with this design. It uses some interesting puff type texture stitches to create a pine tree motif. I'm super proud of the stitch pattern that I've come up with, and you can actually get this pattern for only $1 from my Etsy and Ravelry shops. On Ravelry, use the code FEELINGPINE, and that code is valid through December 7th. And then on Etsy, I couldn't do a coupon code, so it is just $1 on Etsy. No coupon code needed, but until the 7th as well. So I would love if you could support me there, and I would love to also see your festive dishcloths. They make a great gift, great hostess gift to go along with any holiday parties you're going to this time of year. They're a great little like stocking stuffer or like a girlfriend gift. So I would love to see. Make sure to tag me if you make any so I can see your versions. So yeah, that's new and exciting. I have that pattern and it just came out. and then doing Vlogmas, and it's been fun so far. It's a different type of editing than I'm doing. I'm doing a totally different format as far as how I'm uploading the videos, how I'm putting together the videos. I'm using iMovie, whereas for my podcast, I've been using Shotcut, which is more heavy duty of a program and has a steeper learning curve. But iMovie has been really easy, and it's been really fun to learn how to do that, so I can kind of push the videos out a little bit faster. So we'll kind of see what I settle on. I'm still pretty new to this YouTube thing, so I may or may not change how I do things regularly on my channel based on this little experiment for Vlogmas. But it's been fun to share kind of our day in the life, as well as I have a scrappy advent I've been opening up, and different products I'm working on, and kind of how we're getting through the holiday season and everything that's going on, from the mundane to the magical. I am so pumped. I have a lot of finished objects actually right now, which makes me super excited. I've started filming every couple weeks. So last time I filmed was on my birthday, November 19th. So since that time, it's been a 2-week period. I have fastened off like 5 things. It's been awesome. So it feels really good to check things off the list, to finish things, to make goals, all that good stuff. So let me share what I've got. First up is the Folklore Socks by Fox and Folk. So I had one done, and I was maybe here on the other one. So yeah, I have both socks now. Yay! They're so pretty. Oh my goodness. I love this color work, and it was so fun to do just a little color work on the leg. Oh, you can see there. My tension has changed. Whoops. Might need to block those again. But then again, they're for my baby, so she doesn't really care. The colors are just from my scraps, and they're perfect for Christmas. So I'm actually saving these for Christmas socks for my baby girl. I thought it would be a fun tradition to have Christmas Eve socks. You know how people do Christmas Eve pajamas. So I'm going to do Christmas Eve socks. So those are for my baby girl. I need to make my husband some, and then I am working on my own pair of Christmas socks. So I will show you those later. So I finished the other sock for that, which is really nice. And then on a spur of a moment, I cast on a pair of DK weight socks. I used Northwoods Fibers, Maple Tweed DK, and Vintage Thanksgiving self-striping yarn. I have my notes right there, if it wasn't obvious. And I bought this yarn in hopes of having socks for Thanksgiving. I have never tried tweed yarn for socks. I've never tried self-striping yarn. I've never tried DK weight yarn. So I decided to do all the things. I bought this beautiful yarn from Northwood Fibers, and I finished them in 2 days, the whole pair. I only put one on the sock blocker. Isn't it so beautiful? I used a modified kind of sort of version of the Crazy Sock Ladies DK weight sock pattern, but I like kind of followed it. It was more just so I had like a base to gauge like how many stitches I should do. I did that. I have the other one here too. They're a bit loose on my blocker because I literally finished them, I think, on the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and I literally have worn them every day since then. They're nice and cozy, nice and festive to finish out the Thanksgiving season. So yeah, they probably need a wash now. But yeah, I'm really happy. So fun. It is so fun to work up DK weight socks. Like, no wonder everyone is obsessed, because you use up the yarn really quickly and you see it come together so fast, and it's just really gratifying to get a pair of socks in 2 days. It was awesome. And like, I do other things with my life. Like, I have a baby, I have a husband, so it's not like I just can sit and knit straight. Like, so I'm really glad that those worked up really quickly, because if they hadn't, I would have been really sad to not have that yarn for Thanksgiving, and it would have just sat in my stash for a whole nother year. But now I have the socks. They were so fun. I really enjoyed the self-striping. The colors are really beautiful on this yarn, so I actually have more yarn from that same dyer. Not self-striping, but just some beautiful tones from her. And yeah, I'm hoping to work with some DK weight socks again. I just need to find some good sock yarn that can be DK weight, or that's held together. So got to be looking out for that. And then I guess a half finished object. another sock making roll here. So my vanilla sock, Taylor Swift colorways from Sorella Yarn. So this lavendery pearlescent color is called Folklore, and then this variegated yarn is called All Too Well, and it's from Sorella Yarn's Taylor Swift collection. I have not blocked this sock because it's only one sock. I like to block my socks together for some reason. I don't know. Finish them off like strong together. Anyway, so I finished this sock. It looks really nice. I'm super pleased with it. I did something different. I wasn't sure if I would have enough to do a cuff, heel, and toe, and so I just did toe and cuff with the little bit of yarn that I had. So I've started the second sock. I will show that in just a minute when I get to the whip section of this podcast. But yeah, the first sock I feel like always goes slower because I have to keep measuring and switching needles out. I like to knit in 9-inch circulars, but you really need DPNs or magic loop in order to try the sock on and see how it fits. And I don't perfectly have like a recipe memorized for me for what works for me, so I have to keep trying things on. But now that this sock is done, my stitches are counted, I can go back and hopefully bang out the second sock a lot faster. That is the hope, at least. The special thing about this pair, and I shared it in my last podcast episode, was that I didn't follow pattern at all. This is literally just all from my brain, like all the numbers, all the stitching. The heel, all from my brain, from what I remembered how to do. So I'm super proud of myself. Definitely not perfect. Some of the decreases are looking a little bit wonky, but that's okay. We're learning, and I'm proud of myself. So that is a half finished object. And then another huge project I finished was my autumn doodle cowl. Ah, it's so pretty. Well, I guess. Yes, okay. I'll have it this way. My autumn doodle cowl. Yay! So pretty. It smells so good because I used Sorella's wool wash. Yummy. So I blocked it before I kitchenered. But you can see where I kitchenered. I definitely need to block it again because there's like the little like ridge there. And the stitches themselves look pretty even, but it just needs a little bit of straightening out, I think. But yeah, so that is this, and I'm so happy. Like, oh my goodness, perfect size. My goal was to finish by the end of November, because I knew that if I didn't finish in November, just like those DK weight socks, that I wouldn't feel in the mood for the season, that they would just hang out on my needles unfinished until next year. And I really wanted to just have them done. And so I made a goal for I figured out how many rows I had left and how many days I had left until the end of the month. And I like set a goal. I think I had to do 13 rounds a day. And then by the time I was like, I don't know, like the 27th of November maybe, I was like, the end is in sight. I like didn't work on anything else, and I just like cruised through to the end. And I finished it, blocked it. It actually took like 2 whole days to dry because it was, you know, double layers, pretty thick. So I had like the fan on. I was trying all sorts of things, but finally dried. I kitchenered it. We are good to go. I'll show you. So I did a whole bunch of like folly motifs, right? But I did a couple motifs myself, and they're right here. I did a temple. So in my church, we get married in a temple, which is kind of like a church building, but just a special church building where they do marriages and other like special ordinances. And so I made like a temple motif. Only regret about this, I wish I had figured to put something like there so there wasn't quite so much dead space. Oh, my cat is interrupting. Just to like give a little bit more balance to the color work. And then I did mountains. A little hard to see because this brown, not a good choice. I mean, color scheme, it looks great, but contrast for color work, not great. Like, it only contrasts against this gray that I chose, but against the purple and the red, it's just not enough of a contrast. So that's another thing I would change if I were to do it again. But I have plenty of yarn left over, so I think next year I'm going to make an autumn doodle hat to go with this. And yeah, I'm super proud of myself. This is a huge colorwork project, and it's my first big colorwork project. So I'm super proud of myself. Learning a lot. Definitely got better at holding a strand in each hand and working around that. Got better at catching my floats and doing that more smoothly, so I didn't have to stress about like dropping my knitting and like switching my yarn over. Like, if you remember when you first started learning colorwork, like things get tangled and it gets kind of crazy, but I was starting to get into a good rhythm. So I'm really happy. I'm hoping to do another colorwork sometime, but I don't have any immediate plans, but I enjoyed it for sure. Definitely want to practice with picking colors for colorwork. So yeah, I'm so proud of myself, and I finished it by the end of the month like my goal was. So it's not cold enough to wear a cowl here in California, but if I do need a cowl, I've got one, and I would wear this year round because I just love it so much. It's in my wedding colors. Incidentally, the plum and the burgundy were two of my wedding colors. So yeah, makes me really happy. And then I guess the last little finished object is I finished one more of the petal dishcloths by Hazel Schrock. I had an custom order for 3 of them. So this is 2 out of 3, and I have 1 more to do, so I just need to bring it out. So yeah, that's all. I'll talk about it more in my last episode. I'm thinking about making some in a red color to be like a poinsettia for my mother-in-law, because she really likes poinsettias. I totally forgot my last finished object, and it's a big one. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. He's going crazy for some reason. And the reason I forgot this was because I don't have it with me. It is in my baby's room, and she's napping right now. But I made her a love note. I'll include pictures here because it is freaking adorable. I used some leftover yarn that I had in my stash. It's Universal Yarn Infusion Handpaints in the color Hydropower. I used this on my very first knit sweater that I made. The Seaside V-neck. By Julia Lucinator? Knit by Jules is her Instagram handle. But that was my very first knit pattern test, a knit garment ever that I made, and it turned out great. So happy with it. A great everyday fit for a sweater, but I had some extra, so I made my daughter a love note, and it was super fun to make. Actually a really easy pattern, pretty well written. My issue was, you should not do lace if you're not in the zone. And it's not hard lace, but it was like, it requires enough focus that like sitting in the car, talking to my husband, couldn't get it right. Watching TV, I could maybe get it right. But like, having conversation, no way. Like, I kept having issues. Like, the lace section isn't that long. It doesn't take that long. It's not that hard, but I kept having to tink back like over and over again just because I would miscount. I would put my yarn overs in the wrong spot. I would like get lost in the chart, like, and that was all a personal issue. Definitely not vanilla knitting. But the lace work was really beautiful, pretty easy to do, just needed my brain on. So that's something I learned that I need to prioritize if I'm doing the lace work. But it was fun. I got to use up some stash yarn to make this little sweater for my daughter. We're going to Utah for Christmas, and so Utah compared to California, it is very cold and probably snowy, and so we need more sweaters. So I figured I'd make her a sweater, squeeze it into the Love Note Love knit along that Professor Pearl hosted. And so I knit this whole sweater in a week for my baby girl. It was my first time working with DPNs, and oof, it was finicky, it was fiddly, it was hard to join in the round. It was very treacherous to do any kind of knitting on double pointed needles around my toddler, but we survived. It's okay. It definitely stretched me, as a maker. And I'm sure I'll be using double pointed needles again, if not for socks, for sleeves, for garments, for necklines, all that stuff. It's important to me, it's important to be learning and growing constantly. And so I knew it was a matter of time before DPNs were introduced into my knitting, and that happened with this pattern. And so I'm proud of myself for doing that. And I think that it turned out really, really well. And it knit up pretty quickly despite all my frogging for the lace portion because I just wasn't paying enough attention. So really proud about that. And that was kind of like a teaser because I want to make myself a love note, but I'm waiting for some more yarn to come so I can start that. And that'll be a January project, I think. Anyway, it'll be a 2022 project for sure, but I thought it'd be fun to get a little taste of the pattern, make a smaller version for my baby girl, and then it'll be my turn to make one. Okay, time for works in progress. So I already talked a little bit about this, but I have the second sock for my vanilla socks in the Taylor Swift colorways. It's going right now. I just finished the cuff. I just barely joined in the next color, and I need to switch on my needles. I need to get myself organized. Too many socks on the go, but I'm using my 3-inch needles on a 9-inch circular, and my needles are just a little bit too long. I like working on the 2-inch ones. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna switch things around so that these can go a lot faster, but I have a vanilla sock now I can work on for a while. I think I did 50 rounds on the leg, so I have a ways to go. I can kind of work on this in the car, at church, things like that. So I have that going on. Another sock that I'm super excited about, this is my Christmas pair of socks. So like I mentioned, I want my whole family to have a pair of Christmas Eve socks, and in conjunction with the Cozy Treat for Your Feet make-along, hosted by Moonglow Yarn Company and Twin Stitches Designs, as well as Sockmas, hosted by Nitty Natty and a host of other makers. I have this pair. So this is the Cold Winter Nights socks by Twin Stitches Designs. It's got color work right here at the leg, and then there's some more color work right above the toe. I had another sock in mind I was thinking about doing, but I decided that I would prefer a sock that only had occasional color work rather than color work throughout the whole sock, that I thought I would wear it more. And so there's this sock. I think I'm going to do a shorter leg on this. The chart is, I think, 20 rounds. So I think I'm just going to do, I have about 10 rounds on the leg. I think I'm going to do just 10 more rounds, so it'll be a 40 round leg, and then move on to the heel. But this is just my first sock, and this has been really fun. I've really enjoyed working color work. The yarn is Sorella yarn from the Taylor Swift collection as well, in the colors Cardigan and Ivy. So yeah, it's this beautiful, like, some beautiful tonals. This lighting makes it look like it's just like a solid color, but it's like, it's just really pretty. So yeah, I'm really excited about these. Definitely will have them done is the plan. So yeah, these are my Christmas socks. And I have not started my husband's, though I should. He's not home today, so maybe I should just cast them on right now. Do you want to see the yarn I have for his socks? It's yarn I picked up a while ago from Sorella. So basically all our Christmas socks are Sorella yarn socks. Okay, so this yarn is by Sorella Yarn. It is an Oopsie sock set that I bought from her. But I told her my husband really likes neutral colors and he likes green. So I've got this beautiful light green. It's like, it's not a mint because there's a little bit more, like, it's a little bit more saturated, but it's beautiful green. And this, my mini's falling apart, this tan tonal. I've used a little bit of this tan already for his first pair of socks I made him as like a little accent. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and stripe it in a little bit. Just do some small stripes throughout the sock so that it's mostly this, but then have this contrast throughout. He does like shorty socks, so that's the plan. And since I know more of like what kind of sock fits his foot, I'm going to do cuff down because I've been enjoying doing cuff down socks. And when I first started learning socks, I was a little offended that everyone seemed to like doing cuff down socks. And I was like, but what's wrong with toe up socks? But I like cuff down socks now too. So it's easier to get a really stretchy cast on for me personally than to get a stretchy bind off that looks nice and clean. And I enjoy picking up stitches for the gusset and then decreasing in the gusset rather than increasing for the gusset. So I like cuff down right now. That may change. And I should definitely work on more socks in general, especially some toe up socks, but and trying different techniques and whatnot, but I think I'm a cuff down sock knitter. So I'm sorry, I joined the ranks. I was a little stubborn, I didn't want to, but I am a cuff down sock knitter now. So yeah, so that's the plan for him. One other big whip I have that I didn't even start last time, but it's actually a pattern test due December 12th, so I gotta get my butt moving, is the Wrapped Up in You shawl by Knits and Knots Winnipeg. Janine Miska, I think. It's a little hard to see that there's not too much texture. There's just some eyelets. It's a little hard to see because this yarn's busy, but this is all the yarn I had that would fit gauge. I had some other yarn I thought I would use, but I don't nearly have enough. Not even close. I definitely don't. So this is the yarn I have, and it'll block out with a beautiful drape. So I'm really looking forward to that. But this yarn is Zany Crafts Sensible Sock. It's the 75-25 base in Starry Night, and my mom got me this yarn from like a handmade fair back home. And this is a dyer I have purchased yarn from previously that I really liked for my Endless Summer scarf. And so my mom picked up this yarn for me as a fun surprise gift, and I really didn't know what to do with it. It's 2 skeins. We'll see if I have any left over after this pattern test. I doubt it, but if I do, they would be a fun for a pair of socks too. But got that test to work on. I need to bust my butt. It's fun. I don't have much crochet going on right now, but that is my first love. So it's been fun to be crocheting again, but since I know how to knit now, all I want to do is make all the knit things, since like this is a brand new fun skill. So I'm going to try to have a balance of crocheting and knitting, looking into projects I want to do next year, but definitely more knitting since it's new to me and it's exciting. My last work in progress, I just barely started. I should have started earlier, but I had other things going on. I want to make a Christmas sweater for myself. So I was thinking about doing super dark green. I talked about this in my last podcast, but a super dark emerald green Christmas sweater. And I saw Taylor Seeking Cozy, who is Fiber for the People. She made, using her Endor colorway, she made a Magnolia Bloom sweater. It is beautiful, and it was like exactly what I was looking for. And I was like, I want that exact sweater. I wanted the color. I already knew the color I wanted to make it. I wanted like some lace, something interesting. It just was perfect. It was everything I wanted in a sweater, and she made it in the color I wanted it. I don't have the budget for a sweater quantity of her yarn right now, but I found some yarn similar. I have Cascade 220 Superwash in, I think I said Forest Green previously, but it is Forest Heather. And then Knit Picks Aloft, which is their mohair base, in the color Labyrinth. So yeah, they go really well together. And I have a gauge swatch, and that is all I've done. And I don't think it'll work. I need to block it. So I'm going to do that right after this podcast. So soft and squishy. So soft and squishy. But I only had size 10 needles, and the pattern calls for size 11. And I am kind of a tight knitter, so I doubt that I could get away with a size 10. I'll probably need a size 11, maybe even a size 12, US 12. But it's so beautiful. So I'm super excited. It like looks almost black, which is exactly what I was wanting for this Christmas sweater. So I need to trim this, block it, lay it flat, do all the things so that I can see if this will work. I'm sure it'll grow some, but I don't want to stretch it out too much. We'll see kind of naturally where it blocks too. I bet I'll need to do another gauge swatch, but I have a gauge swatch started. Hopefully, if not today or tomorrow, hopefully I can get any needles I may need tomorrow from the yarn store, and then I can get started this weekend on really cranking this out, because I've got to get my butt moving if I want to wear this for Christmas. But yeah, so that is started. That is my last whip. I don't have very many right now. I'm doing pretty good. I will preface this by saying that it was my birthday and I had like 3 gift cards. So yeah. I recently purchased quite a bit of yarn, and I recently had some come in the mail, which makes me so happy. I am very grateful. Again, I know that I am privileged, unlike a lot of people, and so I'm grateful that I can support small businesses and enjoy this hobby of mine. And I'm also grateful for family and friends that know what I love and also support me and show some love to me. So I'm grateful for all those things, and if you don't want to see, then that is just fine. But I would love to share with you some of the yarn that I've got recently and plans for this yarn. I think I will start with the yarn that is more specific to this season. So actually just the other day, I think just a couple days ago, I got from Bella Fileto Studio, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I got some of her Christmas colorways, Bella Fileto Studio, that I pre-ordered. So I have this color, is called Noel. It's nice and like moody Christmas color. And then this one is the Christmas Cookies sock set. So again, like the peppermint, some green, mint green. Yummy! I feel like I should organize my stash and have an entire cubby based on food-related yarns or yarns that make me hungry or make me think of food. This one would go in there for sure. But yeah, so my Christmas colorways, they're so beautiful. And honestly, I have so much going on, I don't think I'll be able to work on these soon. Bite off more than I could chew, but these will be beautiful. And when I'm feeling like a Christmas in July or like thinking about Christmas, I can cast these on later in the year, and that is okay. Until then, they will be beautiful in my stash. I have not worked with the Styers yarn before. Can you sense a trend? I am pretty new to buying hand-dyed yarn, and so I'm trying lots of different dyers, and it's been so fun to explore and find out different dyers whose work that I love. So yeah, that'll be fun to try. And then another more Christmassy colorway. This is from Mama Jess Knits, and I bought it from the Crazy Sock Lady Co. She posted about it on her Instagram, and I had to stop everything and buy it because this is called Peppermint Coca, so it's perfect. Again, with the food-related yarn. Yum. I love chocolate peppermint everything this time of year. Yummy. So excited. And again, a new dyer to me. They have an Etsy shop as well, so I will link the Crazy Sock Lady Co., where I purchased this from, but I will also link Mama Jess Knits Etsy shop. And then, I mentioned this before, but Northwoods Fibers, who had the vintage Thanksgiving self-striping colorway that I purchased, had another pre-order for more winter yarns, and this is on her Aspen Fingering base. Oop. The color is Winter Dreams. It's 75-25. I'm not quite sure if I prefer an 80-20 or a 75-25. But this is beautiful. This might be fun for a pair of like January or February socks. That beautiful like sprucey green. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm a sucker for sock sets where there is contrast, but they coordinate more. So not like opposite on the color wheel contrast, more like the tones contrast. Yeah, but yeah, I love seeing how there's like the sprucey green in the mini and on the skein. So they coordinate really well. That is my kind of sock set. And even for this one, it's not so much, but there are little flecks of green here and there. But mostly I just love this. And I love this. I don't know if I'll knit them together or not, but I love them. I went to my local yarn store with a gift card my mom got me. And I got some interchangeable needles. I got some ChowGoo. I have all sorts of other ChowGoo needle, interchangeable needle parts, but I hadn't had the set, and I definitely need more sock needles. So I got a set, and I got some more blocking pins. So I got some tools that are really great, and then I also picked up some yarn that just was calling to me. So this Olin Fibers, this is the sock, they're like sock light, so it's a light fingering yarn in the color Fig. It's light enough that my gauge is definitely different on this yarn. I have tried for a pair of baby socks. I used a couple other of their colorways, and definitely it's a different enough gauge for me. I had to change my needle size. And that's okay. That is okay. So I'll have to play around with this. But this colorway is beautiful, and it's been calling me for so long. The garbage truck. Where was I? I was showing this to you, and then the truck came. But yeah, this skein has been calling me for so long, and I told myself if they had a few skeins of this still in stock when I had this gift card and went in, that I would buy them all up and make some kind of a garment. I wasn't sure what, but I just love this colorway. They only had one skein left. I still bought it. Probably it will be socks. Maybe like a really light shawlette or something too. I'm not sure exactly, but it's beautiful. Fig. Yummy. Been wanting to pick that up for a while. And then something else I picked up with that gift card. My parents were very generous. It is my birthday and Christmas gift, since my birthday is so close to Christmas. But I picked up some mohair that I've been eyeing for a while as well. And I had thought there was only one skein in stock at my local yarn store, and then I stumbled upon a couple others that were kind of tucked away. And so I was like, well, since I can get a sweater quantity, I'm gonna get a sweater quantity, and now I know what to make with it. So this is Madeline Tosh Impressions yarn in the colorway New Moon. So I got 3 of them. Do mohair silk base. Beautiful, beautiful. So there's like some plum, there's some turquoise, some blue, some mauve. I think I'm going to go for to hold double with it. I think I'm going to go for like a mauve-y color. I ordered 1 skein of a color I think will work from Knit Picks in their palette. So I only bought 1 skein because I wasn't quite sure, and I'll compare it together, and then if I like it, I will get more. And because it's expensive buying hand-dyed yarn, so it's easier for me to buy sock yarn because I feel like I can use that in smaller projects. But for a sweater, it adds up. So if I can find something that works from Knit Picks, I would rather do that. And if not, I think there's a Stitches event in February close to me, so I can go visit some vendors in person and kind of compare this yarn. But it's so beautiful, so many colors. Like, I am really excited to see how this works up. So I bought some of that. So excited. This was definitely a luxury for me. This was so nice. I spoiled myself. I'm so grateful for that gift card because I would not have purchased it otherwise. And this yarn is staying very far away from my baby. All the other yarn is within her reach because there's only so much damage she can do. She can unravel it, she could tangle it, but we can all fix that. Not for the mohair, not for the hand-dyed mohair. This is going way out of her reach. She is not allowed to touch this, because if something happens to this, I would cry, probably. Okay, and then my last little haul of yarn, I also bought this with a gift card. I had a Visa gift card from my husband's work for one of those, like, health bonus things from, like, doing all their, like, healthy things online, whatever. Anyway, I've been doing that. I had saved up for a long time, like for over 2 years, and I hadn't bought anything. And then I finally bit the bullet and I bought something. And then I figured might as well just convert the rest of it into a Visa gift card so I could use it. And then I decided to use it on yarn, like immediately. But I bought from Sorella Yarns Fall Tonals. I bought a little fade set I made myself. So let's see. We've got ceramic, cashmere, studio, and videri. These together will be a faded shawl. I think it'll be an Andrea Mowry, like, is it Find Your Fade shawl? I think that's right. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna fade these all together. This will be beautiful, warm neutrals. They just like make my heart happy just seeing them. I'm excited to see these work up. So this is gonna be a project for next year. Maybe when I need a little bit more happiness in like February when things are drab, maybe I'll cast this on then. But that is the plan for these, and I was so happy to see them. And all the colors are beautiful separate, but I think together they're even more beautiful. I'm very grateful for all this beautiful yarn that has come into my life, and I could share it with you. Some dyers I'm used to and some new dyers to me. It's been really fun to explore the world of hand-dyed yarn. I forgot something again of a new yarn that I have, and this is actually my Scrappy Advent from the Graceful Tangle. I talked about it in my last episode, but she was having fun putting together stitch markers and doing a Scrappy Advent for a friend. She decided to put some up on her Etsy, and so very inexpensive since it was all scrap yarns of hers. And I've been opening this Advent day at a time. This is my only Advent I have right now. I just love the idea of using up scraps. So I will show you what I have. I'm not spoiling this for anybody because every box of hers is very unique. But this is what I have so far. Blowing out just a little bit. But yeah, this was the first day. So fun. I love this dusty blue. Came with a little stitch marker she made. It's pretty pink. And this white, I think this white is a DK weight, just looking at it compared. Some cute little yarns, and she does a lot of socks, so I'm assuming these are all sock yarns. So I'll probably use them for contrast. I might do a scrappy project. I have a couple projects in mind. There's the 24 days sock pattern, I'll show here, that I'm thinking about. And then there's also the 24 days of sock ornaments pattern that I'll show here. So those are two Advents that have caught my eye since I love making socks now that I know how to do that. Not sure if I want to make a bunch of little mini socks as like decor, or if I want to make one pair of socks with all the colors. If they're going to be different weights, I don't know how they would work all in like a single sock. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. This isn't a project I'm working on during Advent season. I'm going to open everything up and then kind of see what catches my eye and kind of what I want to do. So, plan. But I have my little basket here where I'm putting all my Scrappy Advent skeins as soon as I open them up so I can collect them all in one place. And so that's been really fun. I have really enjoyed this season of life is not necessarily easy or simple, but I feel really grateful, and there's lots for me to be grateful for this time of year. That I feel safe where I'm at, where we're living right now, that my family is healthy and mostly well. We're working on getting even more well. That we have access to resources so that we can become more well, and there's lots of love in our home, lots of gratitude in our home. And this season is a great reminder of what's truly important. And in the hustle and bustle of all the things we could do or want to do, it's good to slow down. And it's been good to enjoy this craft of mine and in sharing it, but also not dwelling on the social media side of things. I have really enjoyed sharing, and I hope that you love sharing with me too. I would love to hear about what things you're working on, any new yarn goodies that you are enjoying. I would love to hear about any patterns that you're working on as you're looking forward to the new year. What are your plans? What are your maker goals? I'm definitely going to change my Attack My Stash goal for 2022. So be on the lookout for a video about my goals for my stash, as well as my Make 9 for the things that I am hoping to make throughout 2022. And like I said before, I'm so grateful that you are here. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Definitely let me know what you liked about this video or what you enjoyed seeing. And also let me know if there's anything in particular you want to see from me so that I can share that with you. My social media handles are all down in the description box. And I would love to connect with you on social media as well. And yeah, I would love for you to stick around. So if you enjoy this type of content, then definitely subscribe and hit that bell notification so that we can see more of each other in the future. And then whatever holidays you're celebrating, I hope that you have a happy and wonderful and safe holiday season. And take care. Happy making. Bye.